expat pensioners in Cyprus now need to consider that they need to do a tax return each year. The tax legislation in Cyprus has been updated to declare that all income, any gross income, is now required to be declared for tax in Cyprus. So the reason for this is that in the past, if your earnings were less than £19,500, you had no income tax to pay, therefore you didn't need to do an income tax return. Things have changed in Cyprus a lot over the last few years in terms of who is the beneficial owner of property, a business, dividends and rental income, and a healthcare system has been introduced. And this means that there are now flat rate taxes which expats living and working abroad in Cyprus are now potentially liable to. For more information on that, you can take a look at our YouTube channel, Project Partnership for Living and Working Abroad show, that gives some details on Cyprus, or contact us at projectpartnership.com. But because of these changes in these flat rate taxes, especially the healthcare taxes, a new ruling has come into place where that any Cyprus tax resident who has any gross income needs to make a return to Cyprus in any year. That may not mean that you have any income tax to pay, and it may not mean you have any tax to pay. But if you've got gross income, then that needs to be declared. One area that's changed, for example, is on property rental income. Across border, if anybody is owning Cyprus property and using it for holiday lets, there could potentially be a tax paid locally by local tax residents, which could be avoided overseas. So tightening up of that tax regulation, including through Airbnb, as well as local property agents and travel sites, they now do a tax report of that rental income to their local tax authorities that get shared. And under beneficial ownership rules, the tax officers can now identify who is the beneficial owner of that property. Similarly, if you've got shares and dividends coming from a business, they can identify who is the beneficial owner of that company and who's receiving the dividends from that. The other type of flat rate tax for Cyprus tax is on interest on savings. So you could be an investor, you could have your own private portfolio. That private portfolio, if it's not in a protected wrapper, is liable to pay you dividends and or interest, and that is your personal individual tax liability reporting responsibility. So Cyprus, as the beneficial owner of that investment portfolio, Cyprus is now looking to attract tax on that. A flat rate health tax was introduced to all people. Now, if you're living and working abroad in Cyprus, paying social insurance, then you're paying the health taxes on that. But the rest of your worldwide income is potentially liable to that. and therefore, that is why they want a tax report from everyone. Someone could be exempt from income tax or other taxes, and yet they may still be liable to the health tax. And this is the reason why anybody with gross income around the world now needs to pay and make a tax return for Cyprus. For more information and guidance, contact us at projectpartnership.com. So gross income, even if your total pension income in Cyprus is below €19,500, about £17,000, you could have liability to other taxes. That includes a defence tax liability to property rentals, to interest from savings and bank accounts, and to dividends from savings and business if you're being paid dividends from your personal or company that you own. The other type of tax that expats and expat pensioners are liable to in Cyprus is health tax. However, there's exemptions for the defence tax and the health tax, and they fall into two categories. First of all, an expat can have a non-dom tax registration. So if you're registered as a non-dom because you've lived in Cyprus for less than 20 years and you've not been tax resident for 17 years, you can get a non-dom tax exemption to defence taxes, including the property interest and dividend taxes. So that can be quite a beneficial rate, beneficial saving. You're saving 17% on dividends, 30% on interest, and 3% on property taxes. But if you haven't got that non-dom tax registration, you will be liable to the tax on your tax return. If you want help and guidance with that tax registration, contact us at proactpartnership.com. The other exemption that expats can get is on the health tax. So health taxes, if you're living and working abroad in Cyprus, are paid with your social insurance contribution in Cyprus, but all your other worldwide income from dividends, property investments, savings, or overseas income is potentially liable to health taxes. The two exemptions are anybody receiving a state pension from the EU or the UK, or anyone who has got a permanent residency in Cyprus. So if you're retired and lived in Cyprus for more than 5 years as a retired expat, then potentially you've got an exemption to health taxes on your worldwide income. So again, that's an important proviso there. So private pensions are liable to health tax. When you have a state pension, you can be exempt from all of those. So to make an assessment of what your liability is, you can contact us at proactpartnership.com, and our Cyprus-based consultants can assess your needs and your circumstance and what you need to do. So in summary, expats in Cyprus need a tax return if they've got any positive income at all. You need to declare that and confirm on the tax return if you've got a non-domicile status and a health tax exemption status. Both those are paper-based certificates that are issued by two separate departments and connected with the Income Tax Office, and those registrations are needed to complete the return. Cyprus returns are due now by the end of July. So if you haven't got your registration and your online service, contact us at proactpartnership.com. We can help you with your registration to do your online tax return, or to get a tax number, or to get the non-dom exemption or the health tax exemptions. All those services are things that we offer in Proact. And if you need any help on doing the return, we can do that as well. Our services start from an online advice guidance at £8 a month using our Proact retained client service at proactpartnership.co.uk. We can get more information and guidance and meet with our consultants by contacting us at proactpartnership.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe below and share it with your friends to make sure everybody understands. Thank you.